Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22, our very first farm. We are continuing to work to build our very modest operation here into a major dairy and egg production. But until we get to that point, we have to continue just building up as we go. It seems like we're able to do about an episode per 6 months of in-game time, which is pretty decent. I think we forgot to go back and do the fertilization of these fields somehow. Not sure how I missed that, but we're definitely not getting the yield out of those fields over there that we would like to get. But anyways, in the last episode, what did we do? We harvested a bunch of wheat for our chickens, and we should have plenty of wheat for them to survive for the rest of this year and possibly a significant portion of next year. But we left off needing to get over there and cut some grass so we can make some silage. Because silage still is our primary big money-making operation right now. So let's get our get this selected to get that put down, get this folded out and put down, and we'll start cutting some grass over here. As I do for every episode, I will explain this little setup I have here because I know the majority of you have never seen this stuff before at all. So we have a lawn. What is the word I'm looking for? A mowing setup of whatever word you want to use that will cut the grass out in front of the tractor, swath it into a nice, neat row, and then we have our baler, which actually has an extra wide pickup. The swathing isn't necessary, but I set this all up before I had this extra wide baling over here. But anyways, the mowing setup is going to cut the grass. The baler is going to turn it into bales, and then the bale pickup trailer back there is going to pick that stuff up for us and load it onto the trailer, and then we will load all of those bales into the silage factory over there, the two little smaller silos. And then get all that turned into silage and store it until the winter when we're able to sell off our stuff for really good profit. So we'll do a little bit of cutting here so you guys can see what the process is going to look like, and then it's just going to devolve into back and forth passes, at which point I'll put in a nice little cut so you guys don't have to watch all the boring cutting and back and forth and all that stuff. But I do generally like to go at least long enough for these first couple of passes here to allow you guys to see a bale come out of the baler and turn into and get stored on the trailer and all that stuff, because it's kind of cool to watch that stuff come off the tractor and all that, or come off the baler there and go onto the trailer. A little bit out of sorts, I guess, right now. I have the words in my brain and they want to come out, but they're really struggling. So anyways, we're going to do a pass around the field here to give us a little bit of turning room so we don't have to run into buildings and trees and train tracks and stuff like that. But I think we're going to go left from this side to this side, back and forth. I think that's kind of the path that we're going to choose here. So, but I do want to give myself a little bit of a headland around the field here so I have a little bit of room to turn around, because these telephone poles can and do get in the way quite a bit. They can be quite annoying. So I think since we already got some room on that side, but I want to give myself a little bit more, because especially on that end of the field with all the trees over there, we kind of need 2 rows of room over there before we start doing our back and forth passes. So I think we're good on that side. We'll go down that way, and then we'll start going back and forth down towards this end of the field here. And that should probably work out pretty well. So we have a bale about to come out. It's getting wrapped. It's going to drop off, hit the trailer. There we go. Gets stored on there, and we just keep doing this same thing over and over again until the entire field has been cut. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in right here because there's a lot of boring back and forth work to get done, and you guys don't want to watch that. I always think that this is kind of an interesting view, especially with the work camera over there on the baling trailer. It's kind of an interesting view to see everything from inside the cab, and then also from the view of that pickup over there in the back. It's also much easier to do these back and forth more accurately, because you have a much better perspective on where the line is and how sharp you need to turn, and it's a lot harder from the other perspective. But anyways, what I typically try to do is make these nice, neat little alternating rows of cut versus not cut, because the turning radius on this is kind of ridiculous, and we need the extra room to be able to turn around and not get stuck on our own equipment. So this is kind of the way that these things end up going. I think what I'll do to get back on track is I'll swing around the telephone pole here and come back on this row to the right of us. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll get ourselves turned around and lined up with this row right here. And away we go. So we just got to go all the way back across and grab all of the rows of grass over there, and then we'll go over to the Silage Factory off in that direction and get our bales turned in. So that's what we're going to do. All right, we're finishing up the last couple of rows over here, and I forgot that I have a mod that allows me to go much faster. I just have to turn it on. I thought it was automatic, so I'm sitting here driving around at a slower speed than I could be, wasting time. So, whatever. We got the field finished up here. We'll go ahead and get this camera turned off. I don't think we really need that anymore. It's just kind of a nice view, extra little view to have to see what's going on behind us without having to turn around. And we'll kind of go around the field a little bit on our way back just to grab these little bits and pieces here. I'm not super concerned about getting every tiny little bit of grass that's in the field there, because realistically it doesn't really add up to too much. Let's go ahead and get back into our third-person view, because we're going to need to line up this trailer back here with the Silage Factory. Only got 4 bales out of that one, but, you know, we're slowly moving our grass operation off in that direction into those fields over there, so that's not that big of a deal. A little bit of growing pains, but we'll figure it out. So we're going to need to get this put right there, get the Y key pressed so that we can get this all pushed back to the storage, the drop-off area over here, and then we'll get it all dropped off, and then we need to advance time to where, actually, we need to remember to go fertilize those fields first. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I think it may be that we have another grass field over here that we're supposed to be cutting. I think I missed that last time. Yes, I did. We have grass over here that needs to be cut, I do believe. Yes, it does. Okay, so, ooh, a little bit of an auto save there. That's why that was doing that. So I think what we'll do is we'll spin around this way and do a pass around like this. Let's see. Need to make sure I have the arm down, because that's not going to go well if we forget to do that. Then we'll turn off this way. I definitely need a pass or two going from left to right this way, because that sign over here, the sign in the tree and all of that, is really in the way. So we're going to have to go around this field a couple of times just to give us some room to turn around. That's all right. We always try to figure out a way to make it work. It's not that big of a deal. This takes a little bit of time. It's always a little bit of time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a big circle like this, because, you know, helps me line up with our little route over here. I mean, realistically, I may just continue to do circles around like this, because it's actually, there's not going to be that much of the field left by the time we finish turning and, you know, doing all of this stuff here. As a matter of fact, I think on all of these little sharp turns here, it probably makes sense to just spin all the way around and do like that. Because that way we can pick up the little bits of grass that we missed on our initial turn there. Hopefully we won't hit the sign or any of that stuff, or get stuck on the equipment. That's always an irritating thing that happens. All right, I think we have enough room now to start doing some back and forth passes. So I'll finish up this little field here over the next couple of minutes and report back to you when I'm done. All right, I think that's close enough for government work. We'll go ahead and finish this up here, get our bales, our last 2 bales here dropped off. I'll do a little bit of a swing around operation to get that done, though. It's kind of different. And then we have a bunch of planting that we need to do, because we have several grass fields over there that need to be planted, and then all of this needs to be turned into wheat once the planting season for wheat hits in a couple months. So let's get these bales dropped off, and then we'll go find our seeder and get that started. Okay, let's see. That should be... Well, I always mess this last little part up, but I think for this setup here... Nope. This is the other way. There we go. All right, get the last trailer set up. And then we'll be able to drop those off and get that done. Let's check our animal situation over here. We're going to need to go and drop off some food when we head back in that direction, so need to make sure we remember to do that. But first and foremost, we need to get our silage into the area over here, so there we go. That's ready to go off. Just trying to wait for that to hop off, and there we go. Alright, so we can drop off this trailer here. We can drop off our mower right there. And let's go grab our trailer and put some feed in with the chickens, so that way we don't have any issues here in a month or so. Gotta grab our stuff over here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for our trailer. Am I losing my mind? I could have swore we were... Oh, okay, that's right. We had this other chicken... We had this other chicken coop that we just built that we didn't have enough feed in the trailer to fill that up. But let's just go ahead. We'll take a second now and get that get that hooked up and ready to go. We'll get this filled up with our feed. Just gotta line it up and we'll be ready to go. Right there. Fill that up with wheat. We have plenty of wheat to get us through this year for both chicken coops, so that should not be a problem at all. Just get it driven over there, and we'll start collecting tons and tons, well, I don't know, tons and tons of money, but a decent amount of money from eggs as we allow them to continue producing for us. We didn't buy a full coop worth of chickens for the second coop. We're going to let them breed and just slowly build up over the year. That'll help absorb some of the shock of... hold on here. That'll help absorb some of the shock of the feed situation that's going on here. So we're going to leave that to do that, and then we need to head over and find our seeder. I believe we left it over in one of the fields where we were going to plant grass. Hopefully there's enough seed and fertilizer in it. I don't remember if I thought about that at the time. Really should have, but, you know, sometimes I get a little bit ahead of myself and don't think about the details. One of the bad things about being me. So let's get over here. We'll find our seeder. Hopefully it's relatively full of seed and fertilizer, and we can get all of these fields over here planted with grass. And that will make it so we can make plenty of food for our cows when we get them, and just silage for now. Oh yeah, we got plenty of food. All right. So let's look at these fields here. I want to turn that one into grass, and I want to turn that one into grass. We don't own that one yet. So I think what we're going to need to do is, obviously, first we need to get it unfolded. Get ourselves turned around like this. Okay. I'd love to use my GPS guided steering here, but I need to see what the angle is for that. Get the seeder put down. Coming this way. So it looks like 45 degrees is the number that we need to be going for. So let's get the proper sizing for it, and then we'll set 45 degrees as our direction. Get that moved over to the right a little bit, and then we'll back up and reposition so that we can make sure that we're nice and in the center when we turn on our equipment. Here we go. And away we go. Seeder turned on, we're planting grass, and all we have to do is just keep going back and forth as we go. So I'll finish up this field here and report back to you when we're ready to go over to the other one. Alright, ever so slightly inefficient with the angled edges of these fields here, but not much we can really do about that, and it's not that big of a deal. It's only a little bit of waste. Obviously, this one's going to be a little bit more of a waste, but fortunately, we only have to plant grass one time, and then after that, it's all good. So let's finish this up here. Then we'll relocate over to the other field that we need to plant with grass. So that's going to be off in this direction. We're going to have to reset our GPS up again, though, because it's going to be a north-south orientation rather than this kind of 45-degree angle that we were doing here. But that's okay. It's not that hard to change everything up. We just need to get ourselves lined up where we need to be and get started on it. So let's get this guy right here. We need to set the direction back to north and south. Get that lined up where it needs to be, say right there. Give ourselves a little bit of room to reorient the equipment where it needs to be. And away we go, doing the same thing we just did. And we'll get nice, neat, perfect rows going back and forth across the field. So let me finish up this field just as we did before, and I'll report back to you guys when we're done. Alright, just finishing up the last couple of rows here on the seeding for our grass. Did have to do a little bit of headland management because there's just not enough room on the edges of the fields here to really get things set up the way I wanted it without having to run into things. So that's alright. We'll get all of this row here finished, come back up to finish up that last little strip there, and get the seeder moved over to where we're going to do our wheat fields here in a couple of months. Which will be this episode. Don't worry, we just need to get past this little part here. Swing around. Get ourselves turned this way. I'm just going to leave the seeder on to make sure we get the last little couple of patches that seem to have gotten missed the last time I went through this. Not sure why it missed it, but we got it all sorted out and figured out. And we'll get over there to the other fields. Obviously, we can't plant them now. Planting season for the wheat is in September, so we're going to have to advance time a couple of months before we're ready to do that. But at least now we have our grass all set up. And I believe what we're going to want to do is leave our seeder like right over here so we can get started on that when it's ready. But we also do need to go ahead and, well, you know what? I'll wait till next month to fertilize because we need to fertilize the 2 fields that we just did. So I think we'll leave that right there. If I can get it to let go. There we go. We'll leave that right there. Let's go ahead and move over in this direction so we can park our trailer, and then we'll advance time to next month, do a bunch of fertilizing, and then after that, we can go ahead and get our wheat planted for next year. So I think that's the plan. Get the tractor turned off, just double check our animals one more time just so we don't have any issues. And here we, actually, let's save our game just to make sure we don't have any last minute weird things happening. We need to be able to go back in case something crazy happens. All right, so now we have that done. Let's go ahead. I'm going to switch back to this view because it's easier to do our fertilizing from this angle. So yeah, we're going to get over here, start dropping some fertilizer on all of the grass that we have going on now. So these 2 fields over here and 2 fields over here, I think. I think it's 2 fields over there, right? I believe that's what we had going on. Oh, that's right. I have the max speed thing going on now. It's not going to slow down. That's perfect. I love this. Is almost like a time lapse. I wish all of my equipment would go this quickly. So this is how you do it. All right, well, anyways, I'm going to spend some time going through and getting all of this fertilized, and then I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to advance time for to plant some wheat. Yeah, that. Okay, well, there's something I clearly don't understand about the way fertilizer works in this game, because it is showing these fields being fertilized the first steps. I think maybe my memory, the memory fault that I'm having right now is that I'm able to fertilize it like this, but I don't know if the fertilizing when I plant it will move it to the 100% stage. So maybe that's the key piece I'm missing. I'm not really sure. All I know is that I didn't think I could fertilize the wheat fields before, even though I can do the grass. It's kind of strange. I really just don't understand how it works. I think that's probably my problem, but it is what it is. Anyways, I still need to go over and get those last 2 grass fields over there. Basically, well, yeah, get these last 2 these 3 fields over here actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, 5 grass fields that will do. So I'm going to go get these fertilized, and then we'll be ready to move forward with our time and plant some wheat. All right, as always, that's close enough for government work. I'm not going to worry about that last little strip. We need to hurry up and get this finished so we can plant some wheat, because we need to get on with our year. So now we have fully fertilized grass fields. We'll get one more cut in, I think, before the end of the year. And we should be able to get a decent number of bales out of all of that, so that's cool. Get this parked over here. We'll double check our feed levels, but they should be fine. We should also double check our egg situation. Doesn't look like they're producing too much though, so as I smash into our combine, that was not very smart. Whatever. Not much I can do about it. Okay, so we still have plenty of... that's weird. Doesn't seem like they took that much feed. Okay, so tractor's done. Everything's fertilized. Chickens are happy. I think we're ready to advance to the next month so we can plant some wheat. All right, there we go. Now we're ready to go ahead and hop back into the tractor. We'll go grab our seeder and start planting some wheat. And we'll do it from this view because I don't really need all that extra 3D view to get the seeder working properly. The 3D view is very helpful when you're trying to do headlands and stuff like that, because sometimes it can be hard to see where that mower is on the edge. So I generally try to do it from that view. Oh, nope, nope, I want... Nope, nope. There we go. That's the view I want. All right, cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of start over here, swing around, and do a little bit of a... Oops, do a little bit of a deal there. Let's make sure we have wheat selected. I have a really bad habit of forgetting to change to the wheat setting there. That's what we want. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with seeding our field with wheat for the next year. We've got to make sure we have enough feed for our chickens once we get into the next year. So very important to do this. I will finish up these fields over here and see you guys when we are done. Let me get around this corner though, because it's kind of hard to press the pause button when I'm trying to turn. It's very difficult to do. All right, there we go. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, that finishes off our fields over here. I'm having a hard time getting my camera to turn off though. There we go. Sometimes you have to go inside the machine to do it. So we need to get our seeder put back. Or hold on, there's 2 fields up here at the top that we need to do. Actually, I completely forgot that there were these fields up here that we needed to do. So yeah, we'll just go ahead. Oops. As it gets stuck there. Get that out. No, yeah, there we go. Sometimes, you know, you know what I mean. Get ourselves set up to do this, and get ourselves, gotta get lined up to do this, right? And we'll just go ahead and do this in real time. It's only going to take us a couple of passes to get this, 2 or 3, maybe 4 passes. I don't know. I'll put a cut in. I'll be back in a second. All right, finishing up the last little row over here. Then we can put our seeder away, and then we can advance time until we're ready to cut the next round of grass. Just, sometimes I get way ahead of myself, and things just, you know, I think we all do that. I think everybody gets ahead of themselves sometimes. We are impatient people, and that's just kind of the way it works. Patience is a virtue that most of us really struggle with, I think. But that's okay. We're going to get this done. All right, come on, come on. Last little bits here. And now we have our wheat harvest fully planted for next year. We'll get our seeder put away. We'll actually go ahead and grab these eggs here too, since they are kind of piling up a little bit. Gotta wait for this to detach. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We all have things better. We have better things to do than wait for you to fold up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, we'll grab our auto-loading trailer because that makes life more convenient for us. Bam, bam, bam. Back up, back up, back up. Really should have stuck with the other tractor though. It has a higher top speed. Okay, get this right here. It also doesn't seem to have some of the turning radius issues that other things seem. This one seems to have. This one has an extremely sharp turning radius, I think, as compared to the one that has the regular wheels. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's how that's going. Doesn't really matter though. We're gonna do that, and we'll just leave the trailer sitting there so that we can get our tractor put back over here. Turn that off, and I think we're ready to advance to the next month. I'm not really sure. Well, let's just go ahead, check our animals really quick. They have good food. They have enough food. Let's go ahead and advance to next month. And then let's run over here. I think our closest grass field might be off in this direction. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think the grass fields are over there. I really wish that are actually... is there a way... Grass. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can click on grass here. Oh, okay. So these are like filters then. Does that tell me my growth? That's wheat. I'm a little confused as to how that part of the map works. And I don't think it's going to give me the actual growth that I'm looking for. It's going to tell me that it's ready to harvest even though, oh no, it's fully ready to harvest. Okay, well, I think we're going to leave that for next episode. Typically, we're able to get all the way through to the end of a year, but it took us a little bit longer this time because we had to set up some fields that we wouldn't normally have to set up. So we're going to go ahead and call that an episode. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button if you did, so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now, so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button. Check out the list of options available there and decide if any of those are right for you. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. Oh, if you're not interested in a long-term commitment, you can also leave a tip in the form of that thanks button. Direct contributions such as these are greatly appreciated, and a critical component to helping to turn this into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys are enjoying building this farm with me. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.